Hey guys, my name is Emily and welcome to baeyonce. So today I'm going to be talking a little bit about summer college, and probably you guys don't know too much about this. It isn't really like a super common topic, so that's why I decided to talk about it, because when I wanted to learn a bit more about it, I couldn't really find that much besides what was on the college's website. So in case you guys are interested in going to summer college, or if you didn't even know about summer college, hopefully this video will make you a little bit more excited to go to summer college or figure out if summer college is actually right for you. But in this video, I'm going to go over 6 different sort of topic areas. The first one is what is summer college, so giving you a little bit of background information on what it actually is. The next one is talking about how the classes are like and what you learn, that sort of thing. The next one is talking about the dorms, how the dorms are like, what your living life will be like. And the fourth one is talking about your social life, what it's like, and the social scene, I guess. And the fifth one is how would you go about the application process to summer college. And the sixth one is some tips that I have for you guys if you're going to summer college or if you're kind of thinking about going to summer college. So yeah, let's get the video started. Woo! So the first point, as I mentioned earlier, is what is summer college. And basically what summer college is, it's a college course for high school students. You do also get to mix with some undergrad students who are taking courses over the summer, or even grad students. And that means that you get credits for it, you have a college professor, and it's basically like being in college, but except you only take one course. You basically go through this course like it's a semester, except it's squished down into a shorter amount of time. So I think it really depends on the program. Mine was 3 weeks. Some schools, I think NYU was like 6 or 7 weeks. I can't really remember. Brown is also quite long. But the one that I went to is 3 weeks, and there's also a 6-week one here as well, so that makes it kind of like a balance. But in general, the 6-week people don't do one course, they do like a 3-week course and another 3-week course, so that's kind of how it works out. Yeah, it's basically just like college. You live in a dorm, you meet people, you eat in the cafeterias. It's a little bit different. There's slight differences as to how you live and go about your life. You're not considered like an actual college student. You do have an ID, but it's separate. And I think this really varies from school to school. This is just speaking from my personal experience. So if you go to a different one, it might be kind of a little bit different. So now moving on to the more specific sections. The first one is what are the classes like? And so the classes are really interesting. It really depends on what program you do. My class was huge. It was 200 people, but that was split up into 2 separate lectures of about 100 people. It was just a professor talking at you. And I don't know, it was interesting, but that's definitely a sort of college experience. But after that, just so that we got more one-on-one time, we kind of had a discussion group, which means that we split up into 5 groups of 20-ish people, and in those groups we did a lot more discussion on what we learned and just talking about stuff instead of just having someone talk at you, which is really useful actually. But still, it's kind of different having a huge course and a small course. I know a lot of people have really small classes under 20 or 30, 40, 50 people, and that gets you a lot more one-on-one time with your teacher and your professor. But I do think if you are doing a lecture course, you need to take initiative to actually talk to the professor or talk to your TA, because otherwise you're just going to be getting this information and you won't really be able to ask questions or fully understand certain assignments. Talking about the coursework, it's, for me at least, I was doing a business course. It wasn't that hard in terms of the material. It was just oh yeah, that makes sense, and there's some topics that you need to look into. For example, accounting was a bit confusing for me, so there's ways that you can do that on your own, go to the library, research it. I just use Khan Academy because they're the best. But it's up to you, and really the big thing for me was the workload, because I went from having a medium workload at school to having this huge workload, because it's a semester's worth of work in 3 weeks, so it's kind of crazy. And we had a bunch of 4 or 5 assignments within 3 weeks, so that's a little crazy. But a lot of it is just getting things done, managing your time. I don't know, just work really hard, and a lot of times it's just a lot of work that you can probably easily do. You just have to keep on going through it and just set your pace and go with that pace. I guess it's kind of like cross country in a way. You have to set your pace and just kind of go with it. And you can't really intensely work at one point and then not work at all at one point, because it's going to be pretty intense throughout. So you just need to make sure to set a pace. And also, it's really different because you're coming from high school. You need to learn how to be a lot more responsible, because the teachers aren't going, or the professors, TAs, they're not going to baby you or anything. If you don't turn in an assignment, they're not going to ask for it. They're just going to be okay, they didn't turn it in, points off. So you need to be really responsible and like, I don't know, get a planner or something. Make sure that you know exactly what you have to do, because otherwise it might not work out that well. So it's really important that you know how to manage yourself, and this is something that you can work on beforehand, or they're actually like quite helpful here, so, or at any program, so they will probably help you out if you don't really know how to manage yourself that well. But I think that's the biggest thing, is that you get so much responsibility and it's all up to you, and yeah, you really can't count on like the teachers or RAs, TAs to like baby you. So the next question is, what is the dorm life like? And okay, so this really depends on what kind of dorm you're in. Even like in my program, it's so different for so many different people. So some dorms, like not the one that I'm in, but some dorms, it's like co-ed, so there's like guys on the floor, girls on the floor, guys on the floor, girls on the floor. And yeah, that dorm is apparently pretty noisy, and there's like a lot of like partying stuff going on. But I think it really depends, and that one has like doubles and triples, whereas the one that I'm in has singles and doubles. So the one that I'm in is the all girls one. It's so quiet here. It's super nice actually. Like, I like it. It's really peaceful, and it gives me a lot of like time to like focus and study and stuff. And yeah, I'm in a single, so that's awesome. Like, I can just focus here, and I don't have to like especially go out to the library, and it's kind of great for me because I'm sort of an introvert, so I feel like it's just a lot more comfortable for me to be in a single. And yeah, it's cool, and there's still other people in single, so I can like talk to them, and it's really great. You can still have a social life if you're in a single. So yeah, again, with responsibility, it's super important. When you're in a dorm, you need to make sure to like clean up your stuff, make sure your trash is taken out. I don't know, I think you have to be like really responsible, because otherwise you might end up having a very disgusting room or just disgusting life. So you need to make sure that your room is like clean, organized, and yeah, I don't know, that was the biggest thing for me, because when things get unorganized, I get like crazy. So yeah, also I always have to have snacks, because it's really important. When you're like in your dorm, you have to actually think about food and like where you're gonna get the food, whereas usually when you're at home, you just like open the fridge or something. But here it's like a whole new responsibility. So I think that's like the overlying theme of this, is that you need to be responsible. So now moving on to the fourth section, and that is social life. So social life is, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Like, everyone's new here, you just have to talk to people. I think the first day is really important, because you just need to make friends. And one thing that I noticed is that it's a little bit cliquey, because people are still in high school. So I don't know, I think it's important to get out there, meet a lot of different people, talk to a lot of different people, and find people with similar interests to you. It's a really great place because there's people who are interested in like studying. Obviously these people are really motivated to do something, so there's a lot of like amazing people here that you can meet. And yeah, you will definitely find like-minded people. If you have a big program, or I mean any size program, you're gonna find like-minded people, and it's amazing. It's like super great. And yeah, and also if you're having trouble meeting new people, you can kind of go to events, because a lot of time there'll be like events set up for you guys, or just like talk to people. I think for me, I did go to some events, and some of the events were kind of crazy because there's a lot of people here, but I think one of the biggest things is to leave your dorm room door open, because that way you can like meet people on the first day, and you can say hi, and like meet the people on your floor, meet the people in your area. So that's kind of cool. And I don't know, I think it's all up to you. And I think in general in summer college, it's not super important that you have to like know everyone or like have a huge social life, because you still have to really focus on your work as well. So I think either way, if you don't feel like meeting a lot of people, you don't have to, but if you really want to meet a lot of people, which is a huge experience in the college life, you can definitely do that. Okay, so moving on to the fifth section, talking about how to apply, or the application process. I think it really depends on the program or the school that you're going to, but this one was quite easy to get into. Like, it wasn't like really intense or anything. Like, I mean, I have good grades, I have good whatever qualifications. I think they asked for the PSAT, and they asked for a recommendation from a teacher or something. And so, I mean, I don't think it's that hard to get in. There's quite a lot of people here, but I have heard that other ones, I think Stanford is like really hard to get into. So you need to like look over that stuff, and kind of like, you can like Google it as well, because there's a lot of people who go on like forums. Like, I think College Confidential has a lot. People who went to these like summer colleges and stuff, and so they can kind of give you advice on your specific program. But overall, for me, it wasn't that hard to get in, but I'm not 100% sure like the percentages of people that got in. Like, I don't know if anyone got like declined or anything. Anyways, I think that It really depends on the program, but it's definitely not going to be as competitive as going to an actual college. For example, the school that I'm going to is an Ivy League, and it's quite different. I think like getting into summer college is like a completely different thing than going into the actual college. Also, like, note on the noise, I'm like right next to like a bus stop, so if it gets like loud randomly, there's probably a bus, and there's like a road going right by there, so it's kind of crazy. I guess that's another thing about the dorm life, is that it's a little bit noisy here and there, so I guess you need to get used to that. So for my application process, I just had to write a few different things. I think I talked about some activities that I did at school, I don't know, some of my characteristics, I believe. It wasn't that hard. It was about like 1 page of writing, and there was some other stuff as well, but it wasn't like a huge deal or anything. I think the important thing is to leave a lot of time, because there's a lot of communication between the school, like your school, and the college that you're going to. Also, you need to get recommendations, so make sure not to like rush the person who you're asking for a recommendation, because oftentimes they have a lot of things to do, especially because there's people who are actually like applying to college. So I think it's really important that you leave enough time. I think I finished my application like a month or so before the deadline, just to feel like a little bit safer. I mean, I know people who finished it like a week before and they are perfectly fine. I think for me it's just like a lot easier to leave myself with a lot of time. Okay, so moving on to my tips for you summer college people. I think that the most important thing is that you need to do something that you really enjoy. So like, for example, I don't know, one of the programs here is about like writing and that kind of thing. And although I do like writing, I would not be able to invest so much time in like actually doing all that writing. The course that I did, which was business, it was amazing because I'm like super into business. Everything is like amazing, and it's, I don't know, I just had a really great experience with the program that I took. So I think it's really important to find the perfect program for you, and if there's not a perfect program, I don't think you should go, even if it'll like look good on your thing. Like, I think the most important thing is the experience that you get, because although you do get credits, it's pretty important like that you also get the knowledge, because if you don't have the knowledge, or if you're not really interested in it, like the credits, there's not that many credits. It's like 3 credits, and that's like, I don't know, it's not a huge deal. I think it's really important that you choose something that you're super interested in, because otherwise you'll get pretty bored, I think. Second tip is to take all the opportunities that you get, because if you don't take those opportunities, you might regret it in the future. And they actually have like amazing opportunities here, like, I don't know, just like you can talk to the professor or talk to the college students here and see how like their experience was like getting into actual college. And I don't know, just like talk to a lot of people. If there's like an event, make sure to go, because these events can be pretty interesting. Also, make sure not to spend your entire time studying, because you're probably gonna go crazy, because it's just like too intense. So make sure to like give some free time for yourself, do what you like, I don't know, take a walk or something. And kind of tying on to the last point, it's you should definitely like check out the area that you're in, explore the area, be a tourist for a little bit. The area where this college is super nice. There's a lot of things to do. Well, not a lot of things to do. There's some fun things to do, and it's like really exciting. My final tip is to take care of your health, because I mean, you're on your own, you have all this responsibility, and there's a bunch of other people here, and it's really important that you make sure not to get sick, to go to bed at a reasonable time, to drink a lot of water. I don't know, just do what your mom says, but it's really important to take care of your health and eat healthy food. It's all up to you, and yeah, I guess responsibility, right? That's what I've been saying for this entire video, but it's definitely so important to be responsible during these programs. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you got a little more knowledge about summer college. If you have any questions or comments or anything, or tips for other summer college people if you did do summer college, please leave a comment down below, and I'll be sure to answer your questions or comment on your comments or that kind of thing. Also, if you have any personal questions or stuff that you don't want to like leave in the comments, make sure to message me or follow me on Twitter, and I'll follow you back and we can DM each other. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that video and got a little more knowledge. And yeah, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys soon for another video. Bye! Mwah.